Good morning, everyone. How are you doing on another rainy day in Ohio? So, bright and early this morning, I'm not sure exactly what's going to be in this video, but what I do know is I got to get started on my Christmas lights here at the house. So if you don't know what to do in the fall time or leading into the beginning of winter, Christmas lights is an awesome service that you can offer, and it makes a ton of money. So I'm going to give you the knowledge that I have to get you started. So what I like to do is tell people, imagine one of those like old school candles, okay? And a candle wants to sit straight up and down like this, and that's how you want it to be. So what you want to do, don't mind the dogs, is you want to actually seat it right in there. And if you see that little hole right there, that's to allow that clip to sit back so that it actually stands up and looks really clean and looks really professional. So what you do is just push it right in between those front grips, and it will seat right back in there just like that. See how it's seated right back in there? And then what happens is underneath that little bottom hook will grab right up underneath of the bottom of the light itself. And now it doesn't go anywhere. So whenever you go up and you hang this on your gutter, okay, click it into place, guess what? It's straight up and down, looks really clean, looks really fresh, and gives you that professional light effect, I guess you could say. I'll do a couple more here real quick, because what happens is people get these clips and then they get all confused, but it's really, really simple, guys. All you have to remember is this little grabber out front like that, like a claw. That little grabber, that's where you're gonna slide the bulb in, and then the bottom of it just sits right down here. And if you look at the top, it's really easy once you get into it, okay? So you're just gonna push it in there. Sorry, it's hard trying to hold it up where the camera is. You're just gonna push it in between, get that little piece seated back in that hole, and then boom, bada bing, it's sitting right on top of that little bottom piece, and then you're just gonna click it right over top of your gutter. All right, so we got all the clips put back on that strand of bulbs. Took me roughly 2 Christmas songs. We made it through Mariah Carey and then one other Christmas song. So I'd say probably 6 to 7 minutes to take the old ones off. I did an inspection as well. That's why I did it. And I'm just checking to make sure all the bulbs are good. They're not broken. There's no breaks in my wire. And this is something you're really going to want to check if you're doing this professionally for somebody else's house. This is another tip I'll give you guys. Do not use the customer's lights, okay? If you're doing it, you're going to want to buy the lights, you're gonna wanna provide the lights, and you're gonna wanna upcharge for the lights. That's where you make some of your money. Like I told you, there is good money in lighting, okay? And it doesn't have to just be Christmas lighting. It can be decorative lighting, ornamental lighting, you know, all different, I mean, swimming pools, rock beds, you name it, just on the house. There's a ton of things you can do with lighting. But back to the Christmas, because that's what we're doing right now. When you're putting those clips on or taking the old ones off, you can inspect all of your wire, make sure there's no breaks in it, make sure no wires are exposed. You also can make your cuts if you're cutting. I'm not doing that here at my house because I pretty much have my own little design that I do every year, but you can cut these and piece them together to makes it look a lot cleaner. So simply do your inspection, check all of your wires, put your new clips on, and you're putting the clips on the ground, okay? I see a lot of people making a mistake. They're up on a ladder, they're 2 stories up on the roof or something, and they're sitting there clipping on new clips and then putting the lights on. You want this thing to be set up and ready to go from the ground, okay? You want to do everything on the ground that you possibly can to alleviate any safety issues, because when you're up in the air, you already have, you know, one hand on some wires or wrapped up, however you're going to do it. And you just want to make sure you're paying attention to just hanging them and doing that safely. You don't want to be up there clips and this and that, and you'll break some, and it happens, but you know, you want to minimize how much you're up in the air doing anything extra than just hanging the lights and getting back down, okay? Another tip I'll give you is to have like a pouch, okay? I'm just using my hoodie to put the clips in, kind of like a kangaroo pouch. I just take them, stick them right in my pocket. You can get like a tool belt or a book bag, something like that that hangs around your side, a fanny pack, something like that to put clips in as well to help you do this a little bit more efficient. I'm only doing, I believe, 4 strands, so I'm not that worried about it. Whatever's in this box is exactly what I'm doing. That's how many lights I put around my gutters and roof line, and it goes fairly quickly. So what I'm gonna do is set you guys up here. Just wanted to give you some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years, watching other people do it, and talking with people that do this for a living to pass it on to you if you're a homeowner or somebody that's maybe entry level getting into doing Christmas lights. It doesn't have to be these big glamorous things, guys. A lot of times people just want something up. They have family coming into town. They're busy. They're working, yada, yada, yada. Years ago, we actually offered a live Christmas tree pickup, and it was the first year. It was after we were doing lease in the bed of the truck still. But what we would do is we were in a lot of higher end neighborhoods we were targeting. We'd say, hey, get your live Christmas tree out to the curb and we'll come through and we'll pick it up, $40. And believe it or not, we did okay with that. So that's another little service. The biggest thing is I got out of it because it just became kind of a headache. You would go pick one up and then the next day the neighbor would call. So try to set it up on a regiment. Like, hey, we'll pick all this area up on a Friday, the week after Christmas, maybe right before New Year's or the day after New Year's. A lot of people like to keep it up through New Year's. So you can just set it up, just think it through, guys, plan it out, and there's money to be made if you're willing to put into work. So got all those ones done. Those took a little bit longer because it was multiple sets. My next tip for you though, right here, guys, this thing is made by Defiant. There are many brands out there, but what this thing allows you to do is to plug a ton of different lights into it. And then what you can do is it has a wireless controller, okay? And the homeowners, after you set this all up, you just tell them, hey, 1 turns on this, 2 turns on this. What I like to do is put all the house lights that are up on the house up higher on 1, and then I'll put the lowers on 2. Just in case there's an issue, you're able to go out and you're like, okay, why are my lights on the ground not working? Okay, well, you know you're going to start at number 2, your second plug-in, and you're going to run that on out, and it's all on the ground. There's something unplugged or a light bulb blew, something on the ground. You're not going through the ups and downs. And this is on a very small scale, okay? There are companies that do this on a massive scale. Everything I think I got was at Lowe's. There are better options out there as well. There's more professional grade stuff as well. Especially if you get online, you can order in some crazy stuff, guys. I don't get that much into it. I'm just giving you the real basic tips here. So let's get moving along, and here in a little bit, I'm actually gonna give you a little bit of pricing information that I know from back in my gutter days. Yes, Sean used to do seamless gutters a long time ago. I think I was probably 18 or 19, maybe 20, I don't even remember. A long time ago, I did seamless gutters for a company, so I learned a lot of info doing that as well. All right, so you're gonna see, I actually have I wouldn't say it's a defect, but probably this one here is actually backwards. So whenever you hold up your line, you see how the insides are all on the back side, okay? Well, this one right here, the yellow one, is actually the opposite way. So not a big deal. And you can actually put these hangers on either way, but just wanted to point that out to you guys. So what we're gonna do is actually start back here on my gutter, okay? So I'm gonna kind of finagle around here. And like I showed you earlier, these just go right around the gutter, and all they do is just hang there, okay? Then we'll run our power cord down the back of the gutter here. We'll actually hide it really well. And yeah, we'll be able to go from there. So once I get over here in a second, I'll show you how the lights kind of transition. So what you want to do is keep a little bit of tension on them so that they look nice and uniform. Not too much when you're first getting started because it'll pull you. But yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. And all that does is just clip right in behind there. Once you get quite a few of them, maybe like 4 or 5 set here, you'll have a little bit of tension between all of these where it'll be good to go. Babe, can you find me a green power cord they're hanging up in the back of the garage, please? I can run it down. This one, I believe, is the 20-footer, because where I'm going to run it to, I'll need a little bit of length. Now with these hangers as well, they sell multiples of these, okay? There's flat ones that slide up under the shingles. I always get these different ones because this has a bunch of different features, which I'm gonna show you here in 1 second. So bear with me. I'll step back over here around my ladder. I'm standing on top of my grill right now. And see, the problem is a lot of people are afraid of heights, guys. So this hiring this out becomes, you know, a service that a lot of people are willing to pay for, because, you know, not everybody's okay with even getting up. I'm only maybe 6-8 feet here, maybe 6, I'd say, but a lot of people aren't comfortable with that.
Is this the one here?
That one would probably work. Is there a longer one?
This was the only one hanging there. I'll have to.
All right, well, this one will probably get me down. Here you go.
I have 2 of those ones right here.
All right, I just got to get into that corner. You know where I go at. So I try to minimize how many times I have to come up and down the ladder. So if I can do all of this at once, I will do that. So that little corner piece there, just kind of tuck it back in there a little bit, guys. Just give it a little bit of love, and all you're doing is trying to hide your wires as best as possible. Boom, bada bing, and just tuck it right in there. Don't get crazy with it where you're ripping it out completely whenever you go to remove it. And then the rest of that I can do from the ground here in a little bit. I'm gonna replace this entire roof here pretty soon. Grit's getting pretty wore. We were actually gonna do it with metal last year, and all the companies didn't want to.
Getter.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, this is actually a tool. Back in the day, we used to do a lot of gutter clean outs. I've gotten rid of some of our services just because we used to do a multitude of services. This is a great little tool though if you do gutter clean outs, especially if you have to scrape, okay? Because it fits in there. This really isn't going to do it justice, but if there was a ton of just dirt and grit and everything, that front lip actually works really well for scraping that grit. This one here is more of get in there with your fingers and just get a little messy, if you know what I'm saying. So I think what happened is when we had the work done on this room this past summer for the office, they put the new door and everything in, they moved everything. They had to take this off. Well, they didn't tuck this back up in here. This should be higher. This whole corner should be all the way up in. If not, there should be a piece of this channel coming around here, which whoever did the siding, this isn't right. But you would tuck this gutter right here up behind this metal lip, okay? and then it would be higher and it would drain all to that side. Well, right now I can see it, it's actually draining this way. But that's that. I don't remember what this gutter getter, I think this thing was like $5 maybe. Thank you, babe. But I wanted to show you guys this while I'm up here. And this is why I say put these on the ground, or you at least want to, because honestly, hanging the lights, guys, is the easy part. And if you guys can see, it looks really uniform straight across, and that's going to be what gives you that nice, beautiful look. Okay, it's going to look clean, your line's going to look perfect, the bulbs are going to be standing up straight, and it'll be just in time for a nice storm to come through and wipe it all out for you. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't jinx it.
Right, it happens. So what I want is I want a bulb to be on my corner here. It's not really a big deal, but right here with this line I can hide multiple bulbs. See, I can hide 3 bulbs here. If I had 3 bulbs scrunched together here, it wouldn't look right from the front. See, we're transitioning from a gutter to a roof line, okay? And these are really nice because it has the roof feature as well built in here on the back side, if you can see that. So what you're gonna do is just lift your shingle up a little bit, and you're gonna push it up in there until it stops. And what happens is this piece back here actually acts like a hook, and it clamps it together onto your shingle, and it doesn't allow it to come off. I actually prefer this way over the gutters. These things right here will not move whatsoever, okay? I mean, the ones on the roof line, they stick. The gutter ones, occasionally they'll like to shift on you. And this is why you do this on the ground, because there's no reason to be up here messing around and you know, putting. See, right there's a defect as well. The next one's good, but see how that one's on the outside? Needs put this way now, which isn't a big deal. You just would see that, but that's kind of what I was showing you at the beginning over there. It happens. All right, I'm gonna get my camera set up and I'm gonna finish this out real quick and get this heavy camera off my head. All right, so guys, I know you probably can't tell how nasty it is out here right now. I'm gonna put the garage door down, but it is misting on me all day long. Like, I'm not kidding you. I've been out here for probably 3 hours or so, and it is just, I think it's getting worse as the day goes on. But I got this half done, probably about 3 hours. I probably still have another 2 to 3 up front on the other side. Just because I like the bright LEDs, like the snowflakes, the candy canes. So let's go ahead and we'll see if what I did worked. All right, can I get a countdown? 3, 2, 1. So I told you guys I would share with you a little bit of pricing info, and this can fluctuate whether the customer is providing the lights or you're actually providing the lights. So a good number to start with if they are providing the lights would be right around $3 per foot. Okay, so right here, what we just did at my property was roughly probably about 60 feet. So if we're charging $3 per 60 feet, you're at about 180 bucks if I was providing the lights. Now, if you're buying the lights, you need to add that on top. Obviously, you're going to be going to pick them out. That's going to cost you some time. You're going to be doing some measurements on the house. That. I would highly suggest a good software that you can measure the roof line with without having to go to every single property. You also want to make sure if it's a double-decker house versus a single-story house like a ranch. That is going to take a lot more time. It's going to be a lot more risky, I guess you could say, because you're going to be higher up versus a ranch. You can go straight across really quickly. So just take all of these things into account, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, keep mowing, keep growing, keep making money, boys. We'll talk to you later. TQ out. Peace. Bye-bye.